Yeah, so, yeah, well, I just wait for people to settle down. I didn't finish anyway. So it's important for us to remember that learning is not just an individual thing. We do learn collectively. We change behavior, we change how we do things on a collective basis. And you can see that in the way societies change. Societies change over time, and they change over a very short space of time, sometimes. The country I come from is a completely different country now than it was in 1986. It is fundamentally and absolutely a completely different country. And how did that happen? It happened primarily through collective learning processes. We learn and think in different ways, in so many significant ways. So it also impacts on families, and that's really important. That's especially important in things like adult education, because the adults become key influencers for their children, for those other people in their families. So that's important. And the communities, obviously, that's important as well. And ultimately, I suppose, if we act together collectively, we can change the whole country. So when I say we're changing the world, we have to start small, change yourself, change those around you, change your community, maybe change the state, change the country, change the world. And I wouldn't underestimate the extent to which Indians are changing the world. I was on a tour of the campus here today, and there were lots of pictures on the wall of Nobel Prize winners in science. I can't remember how many, but I would say not many countries in the world have that many Nobel Prize winners. So you are changing the world, and it's important that you have the confidence to know that you are changing the world. Sorry, I moved on to my other slide. That's a sign to myself, because I wanted to wrap up, and I know that wrap up now, but this conference is jointly supported by the ASIM Lifelong Learning Hub, which I'm the chair. And I just wanted to give you a very quick sense of what that is. And there's a special, I suppose, an invitation to you as researchers to join the process. We have 7 different research networks. We have 3 cross-cutting issues. Each one of those, I suppose, works in its own space. But we also, I suppose, collaborate. And I'm hoping that maybe next year we will have another event here on the ASIM Lifelong Learning Hub, and that many of you will be involved in it. It's not just aimed at senior researchers, and a lot of the people are senior researchers, but it's also an invitation to more junior researchers, and we can create scenarios where people can link up with people, you know, maybe more senior researchers to do joint publications and so on. So that's an open invitation to you to join the ASIM Lifelong Learning Hub, and you can find out more about it by sending us an email or whatever. In 2023, we developed a lot of new things, including the Research Network 7. But one of the things we also did, and I'm not sure if she's there now, was we appointed a South Asia and a Southeast Asia coordinator. And the South Asia coordinator is Shalini. And I suppose I don't need to tell anybody in the room the extent to which our work as the coordinator has been transformative. It has been really, you know, beating the ball out of the park, as they say, in terms of this conference and connections and links that we've made. And I'd like to take this opportunity to present a certificate to Shalini for her role as the South Asia coordinator. I wanted to do it here with an audience present where people could get to acknowledge her contribution. So, Shalini, for you. sorry it's not a little bit more flashy. Irish people don't do flashy as well as Indians do.
You can be here.
Okay.
Oh, yes, of course. If you want to say, you can say, please. No, nothing written. You can say. Okay.
Namaste. I extend my gratitude to Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Vinay Kumar Pathak Sir, Professor Shriman Otama Sir, Professor Sharan Ilha Sir, Professor Usha Sharma Ma'am, Professor Sudhanshu Pandya Sir, Professor Yakub Sir, Professor Benzare Sir, Dr. Shalini Singh, Professor Sandeep Sir, Dr. Prashant Sir, esteemed guests, conference participants, and my dear students. I, Dr. Pooja Singh, with absolute delight, take this opportunity on the behalf of School of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences to welcome you all to the valedictory 2 days international conference, Beyond Education Implementation of Lifelong Learning in India, jointly organized by Department of Lifelong Learning and Extension, IQSE, SM Lifelong Learning, Ireland, at Chhatrapati Sahuji Maharaj University, Kanpur, Bharat. We are honored to have all of you join us today for an enlightening event where brilliant minds from all around the world gather to exchange ideas, inspire each other, and shape the future, and as well as we embark on this incredible journey of knowledge, innovation, and collaboration. Today, I'll welcome all, and as we all know, all the guests are occupying their positions already. Thank you, sir. Professor Sudhanshu Pandya, sir, I want to introduce you because, sir, you will be giving the welcome note. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to the Dean of Administration, Professor Sudhanshu Pandya, sir. Professor Pandya, sir, your administrative acumen and leadership have been instrumental in the smooth functioning and progress of our esteemed institution. Your dedication to fostering an environment conducive to learning and growth is truly commendable. Your presence here today adds a great value to our seminar. We look forward to your insight and guidance as we dwell into the discussions on the implementation of lifelong learning in India. To extend a heartfelt welcome to all the luminaries and eager minds present here in the valedictory, sir, I want that you should please, sir, I request you and invite you to give a welcome note. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Pooja. Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Tuama from Ireland, Professor Usha Sharma from NCERT, New Delhi, Dr. Shalini Singh from USTM, Professor Sandeep Kumar Singh, Director IQAC, and the convener of this wonderful and nicely executed workshop, which lasted for 2 days. Dr. Prashant, Director of Adult Education Extension Department, other dignitaries from abroad and from various other institutions of India, my dear faculty colleagues, dear students and research scholars. Having delved into the various technical sessions and pushed through the mind-boggling, path-breaking, the ideas which are going to trigger, I believe, your thought process in the area of lifelong learning. And from the last 2 days, it's on. And finally, as everything comes to an end, so that we have landed ourselves into the validity session. So I welcome you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. A big round of applause for sir. Now I'll take this opportunity to introduce Professor Usha Sharma ma'am. Ma'am is in charge cell for National Center for Literacy. Sorry, as sir told me to introduce first Shalini ma'am so that she may give a gist of the 2 days international conference over here. So I want to introduce her over here. Dr. Shalini Singh ma'am is director at Center for Lifelong Learning, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, India, and a policy analyst for Center for Policy Analysis, India. Currently, she is visiting faculty, visiting researcher at the Helmut Schmidt University of Federal Armed Forces as a senior consultant for PLC Advocates India. She works for the prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. She is the South Asia coordinator for SM Lifelong Learning Hub and Asia coordinator for one of their research network on learning transition. I would like to invite her for a brief note on 2 days conference. Ma'am, please come. Thank you. Give a big round of applause for her.
Zabardasti applause ke liye. Okay, so I'm just here to report about what we did for the last 2 days. Actually, I want to thank the whole team because they have been working here for months, and this is the result we got. It was a wonderful international conference. I would say it reached really, it was international standard. I loved it. I love the team behind it, and I really appreciate all the work that has gone into it. But this is not my job to thank everybody here. We have people here to do that. But I would go through the whole program and once again inform you and also inform the Vice Chancellor, sir, about what we did for the last 2 days. So yesterday we started with very nice tea, registrations, and then there was the first ceremony where we had the welcome address and we had people. We had Professor Sheamus as our chief guest, and he was speaking in the end, and he he spoke very little, but this is Indian culture. We keep the best part in the end. So you just heard his lecture right now. It was a little bit changed. But anyways, so we had Professor Sean Ehlers from Denmark. He was introducing the theme of the conference about science, policy, practice, and profession. And that was actually the theme of the conference because we want you to understand that the rationality of the stakeholders is different. That was the message in his address yesterday. And I think the kind of stakeholders we had involved in the last 2 days, we have understood why we cannot agree on certain things and where to find the way forward to work together to collaborate. So that was one of the basics of his address. And then we had Professor J.P. Dubey and also Professor D.S. Rajput who were there. And then we had a keynote panel, and the keynote panel was very interesting. And also at the same time we had the media interaction with 2 of our guests here, Sean and Seamus. But during the keynote panel, we discussed what are the challenges in implementing lifelong learning all over the world, because these people had experience from East. So Piane chose to speak about East Europe and the experiences and challenges around implementing lifelong learning in the East European context. And then we also got some solutions from Piane. And then we had Jakob telling about implementing lifelong learning and his experiences all over the world about measurement. Also in Denmark, Wales, Mexico, he had examples. And we had Kumar Ashutosh, who was telling us about his global experiences that he thought, and also he related it in a very good way with India and the Indian perspective. And if you had missed upon this, please catch hold of our YouTube link, and you can just go and see the whole session again. So, and then we had on the panel Professor Naseem Ahmed Khan, who was actually talking about the challenge of resources that we have, that we all face all the time when we want to start new initiatives. So that was the first keynote panel yesterday, and the second keynote panel was online. We have recorded that session. If you have missed upon that, please go ahead and see that, because there was a former director of UNESCO Institute of Lifelong Learning who was telling about the challenges from all over the world. We had Sabine Schmidt-Lauf from my university in Germany, German university that has the people from Federal Armed Forces, so Army officers. She teaches, and she's a very senior professor there. So she was sharing experiences. Then we had Lindsay Al-Amod from Ireland, and she was sharing experiences from community engagement and from the field in Ireland. And then we also had Yui from Philippines. So if you are, and she was sharing experiences about online learning. So if any one of you want really to have an overview about how these countries are working with the challenges, please go ahead, see the video on the website. We will put it tomorrow. Probably we will upload it by tomorrow. We have all the sessions recorded. We will put it in the WhatsApp chat. Please go ahead and see, because this is really interesting for you as a point of departure for your further research. It will help you also to write project applications and to explore the further opportunities that you can have. So after that, we had workshops and paper presentations, and a very interesting symposium from SM. So we had papers from Germany, from Italy, and then we had Ireland, we had Philippines, and there were discussants from many parts of the globe. So all the sessions are recorded. We had 4 online sessions yesterday. We had several offline sessions also yesterday, and it went on, and it was really interesting. So please catch hold of all the recordings that you want. So today we started in the morning with 2 online and 3 offline sessions, and you could go on our website and check. We will upload it by tomorrow, whatever the papers were. And then we had a panel discussion where we had Professor Usha Sharma and Professor J.P. Dubey, Professor D.S. Rajput, Professor Sandeep. No, you were not there. You were not there. He was not there. His name is there. And then Dr. Prashant, who was also facilitating it, and yes, of course, Kumar Ashutosh was there as a discussant, and he was a very strong discussant. I really loved his observations, and we had interesting observations also from people all around. And people were really engaging, and I love the interaction in this university. You guys are great, really. And then we had a very interesting and very, very deep discussion and workshop by Jakob Wandel about measurement in learning. I loved that I saw a lot of you writing down the important points. I loved it. And also I loved the questions that came and the interaction, and it was really nice to hear what you are also doing here. And then finally we heard